Today I'll be doing an oil change on the Lexus LS400. You will need 5.5 quarts of new oil, 5W30. I would recommend full synthetic. I would not recommend any special type of oil, just regular old full synthetic. And I would probably suggest going OE on the oil filter. They're really not much more expensive and they're not very hard to get, so I don't know why you wouldn't go OE on that. An oil change, this is a good time to check almost everything under the hood. I like to go around and look at each fluid cap just to make a mental note. Hey, do we have washer fluid? Our brake fluid's fine. We have enough coolant. We have enough power steering fluid, etc. But this is a good time to check all that. Additionally, it's a good time to actually check your oil level. I like to remove the oil filter cap and place it right there on the latch. That way I don't close the hood and I remember, hey, no oil. And this next part will be the most scary and challenging part, lifting the vehicle. I will be using the lower subframe on the front end. I'm only going to lift the front end. I'm going to use a hydraulic jack and then I'm going to place it on jack stands. And I am going to chock the rear wheels. Alright, and with the car in the air, I usually like to give it a good old push. Make sure we're not going anywhere. But we are now placed on jack stands. Absolutely never go underneath the car unless you are using jack stands. A hydraulic jack is not meant to hold up your car at all. Do not just use that. The other tools you will need would be a ratchet of some kind. A little bit of leverage isn't bad to have. 14mm for the drain plug bolt, as well as a tool for removing the oil filter. This is the claw, which I enjoy quite a lot. This claw clamps down as you rotate it, works really well. And then we have this strap wrench style oil filter wrench. These are kind of old school. They do work, but I don't know. I have removed 99% of all oil filters as a professional using this. So we'll need some kind of drain pan and then drain bucket. This combines the two, so the bucket would just be something that you can use to transfer to a parts store. You can even use your old oil containers if you really want to. I think most people do that. But you can also buy these where it's both a drain pan and a bucket that you can use to dispose of the oil. There's a couple things to know as far as the oil drain plug. So first of all, when we're removing it, oil is going to start flowing out. One technique is you can spin it off and it'll fall into here. However, at home, that doesn't really make sense because it's just going to fall into a bucket of oil. Or you can just be very careful and pull it out and try and get as little on your hands as possible. And then you'll have the drain plug. Otherwise, you'll have to use a magnetic something to get it out. It's just worth noting, just be ready for it to come out because it's gonna. Shouldn't really be very tight. I'm going to go ahead and undo it. And again, I'm going to pull it off. The other thing we need to note is there's going to be a gasket that goes between the drain bolt and the pan. Now, we want to pay attention and make sure that that comes off because we don't want to double gasket it. And there it goes. Yep, definitely got plenty on my hand. God dang it. Now, it's almost impossible to not make a mess when doing an oil change. That's why doing it at home sucks, honestly. I would highly suggest using this as an opportunity to look over the rest of the car. We have an opportunity while we're under here to check some things out, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I don't know if I can do this without blocking the view, but we've got our claw on, and I'm going to go ahead and just get that claw on top, and we can see it clamp down, and it's already rotating it. Nice and easy off. Now typically the oil's going to run down the oil filter and shoot off. Hopefully we're good on that. Oh, it didn't. Okay. So this is actually might be a little bit of a clean one here. Okay. And then we can leave our filter on there. Nice. On our new oil filter, what we want to do is dip our finger into the oil and then spread it around this O-ring. We don't want this O-ring to be dry. Toyota is an awesome company, and these come pre-greased. So we don't really have to worry about that too much. You can certainly add more if you want, but I actually trust it. Before we install the new filter, we want to look at the mating surface of the oil filter housing and make sure the O-ring didn't come off the old filter and is still on there. We don't want to end up with 2 O-rings. That'll cause a leak. So it's really important to make sure we didn't leave an O-ring on there. So we're going to go ahead and tighten this filter. And all we really need to do is get it hand tight. So pretty much once I just start feeling some resistance, turn it a little more, and yeah, it should be good. So just get it on there to the point where it's just pretty tight. It doesn't have to be cranked on, but just to the point where it feels tight and you can't really turn it a whole lot more by hand. And there we are. Now I'm going to swap back to my 14mm, go to tightening, and then same thing with the oil drain plug. I want to make sure we don't have a gasket here and we don't have a gasket stuck to the surface. It looks like we do. So see, that's why we check, because there was a gasket that was already crushed onto the oil pan. And so I install a new gasket. Hopefully your oil filter comes with a new gasket, and then we just put her on back in. You can torque the drain plug bolt if you want. It should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 32 foot-pounds of torque. I think these are like 27. If you don't want to use a torque wrench, which I also don't really think is all that necessary, just run it down pretty much by hand, or you can use a ratchet, and then get it to a point where, again, it's snug, and then just kind of apply a little more and just get it to a point where, you know, you're really not cranking it. You're definitely using some solid force to have it on there. Keep in mind you're going to be crushing a gasket, and so it's important that we actually do crush that gasket, and that'll form a seal for us. But that can also kind of misjudge our torque there. But, you know, just snug, nothing crazy. To clean up, we can spray some brake clean around here and the filter and wipe it up. I would definitely do that for all of the loose oil. Some carb cleaner. You definitely do want to get it clean around the oil plug just to make sure you're not leaking. Okay, carefully pull all your stuff out, don't spill. But there we go. So just double check, mentally note that we have the oil filter tight and the oil drain plug is secure. Right away, let's get some oil in it. You want to make sure you do that before you forget. Again, that's why we leave the oil cap on the latch. A good tip is to hold the jug sideways. It actually makes the flow of oil a lot less turbulent. So when we go like that, it should come out a lot smoother. Sometimes you just gotta find that sweet spot. All right, now that it's filled, give her a start. Start and let it run for a couple seconds. Take the dipstick out, wipe it off, put it back in, pull it out, check the level. Looking good. We're halfway up the stick. I think I'm going to add more. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make sure that our fluid level is at least halfway up the dipstick, ideally at the full mark. And yeah, so we just want to make sure our fluid level is good, and that completes our oil change. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe this helps.